At midnight on Friday, February 13th, 2026, DHS began to experience a partial shutdown. This occurred because Democratic lawmakers have demanded significant reforms or guardrails to ICE, Customs, and Border Patrol actions. The problem is the shutdown doesn't just affect ICE or CBP. It also affects FEMA, TSA, the U.S. Coast Guard, the U.S. Secret Service, CISA, and other important DHS components, including the Office of the Secretary. Today, March 11th, Senator Patty Murphy, a Democrat out of Washington, sought unanimous consent to pass legislation brought by her to fund DHS agencies like the TSA and FEMA while still holding talks on ICE and CBP and how they should proceed. True to their form, Senate Republicans once again blocked straightforward legislation to fund every agency within the Department of Homeland Security except ICE and CBP. They continue to drag their feet in ongoing negotiations over common sense reforms to rein in ICE and Border Patrol, which I might remind you the Republicans were partially on board with after the deaths of 2 Americans in Minnesota. Just yesterday, we heard White House Chief of Staff James Blair instruct House Republicans to curb their rhetoric regarding mass deportations. And they did this because the Latino vote is no longer behind the GOP as it was in 2024. As of March 2026, 61 to 65% of Hispanics disapprove of the administration's handling of immigration. So the GOP really ought to rethink working with Democrats in the House to put some guardrails on ICE and CBP. Because Latinos, and let's talk about Texas, particularly in Texas, overwhelmingly voted for Trump in 2024 when the maps were redistricted, gerrymandered, let's be honest here, they were including that Latino vote as pro-Republican. And they thought it was safe to redistrict using lines, including that Latino Republican vote, which made it seem like they had a safety margin to water down the Democratic votes. And it is wrong to lump Latinos or Hispanics together as one single voting unit. They don't vote in unison. But if the GOP is going to continue down its immigration path and refuse to make changes to ICE and CBP, they are going to lose a huge portion of the Latino vote in the midterms.